Alabama. Was it beautiful out there today or what? Here it is, Memorial Day. Thank you for your patriots who defended our country, and I apologize for our stupid politicians that send you places you ought not go. Anyway, beautiful day today here in Lenox, Alabama. Had a wonderful time. Thank you for defending our country. Today, May 29th, 2023. Tonight to be part 4 about the Big Bang, Big Lie. They tell the people we started from a Big Bang. There's all kinds of ways to prove the earth cannot possibly be billions of years old. We'll cover that in a minute. We think God ought to get the glory for his creation. I gave 2 tours today on our day off. We're closed every day, didn't it?
I let one come in and texted me today.
Yeah. Hey, come on in. It never quits around here anyway. Okay. You can follow us on Rumble, on Genesis Baptist Church channel, on YouTube, or on Odyssey, and a whole bunch of more places. Let's see, Facebook, etc. That's the biggest one, huh? Facebook?
Well, Facebook and YouTube.
Do I need to start getting a Facebook account? That's just what I need.
Yeah.
Something else to do. Okay, all Scripture is given by inspiration of God. We believe the Bible's true. What we're trying to do here with our whole ministry, strengthen your faith in God's Word. What'll happen if you watch our video series, you'll say, man, the Bible's true. Then about a week later, you're going to say, oh no, the Bible's true. Ha! I better do what it says, yeah. And if you're not saved, we want to get you converted, or at least make you think about it. And if you're saved and you're not doing much for the Lord, we like to make you uncomfortable. Okay? You can join our ministry by helping us, support us at the 777 Club. Go to drdino.com. Say, I like what you're doing down there. I'm going to help you win souls and support us. If you can, give $1 a day, the $31 a month. Take us on as your missionary to the blind and the dumb. Okay. Get our video series on science in the Bible, 18 hours for $50, and it'll change your life. Okay. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland, the perfect place to bring Scout group, Boy Scout group, youth group, choir, anything. Come on down. Let's see, there's our Dinosaur Adventureland from the sky. Slide number 5-8. Okay. In previous sessions, we've talked about what the Big Bang the Bible teaches about the age of the earth. If you add up the Bible dates, and they're all given in Genesis chapter 5 and Genesis chapter 11, you can add up the dates, and it's going to come to about 4000 BC for the creation of everything in 6 days. And we talked about how if I told you a ballpoint pen was 5,000 years old, you'd say, come on now, ballpoint wasn't invented until 1888. Oh, okay, you just proved me wrong, didn't you? Plastic wasn't invented until 1907, and Bic Corporation didn't come around until 1945. It's easy to prove that Bic pen is not 5,000 years old. You guys are claiming the earth is billions of years old. It's easy to prove it is not. It cannot be. You look at the evidence. If you're willing to look at the evidence, then we told you about the scuba diver. You find a treasure chest in a sunken ship. When did it sink? Well, look at the dates on the coins. Ah, duh. If there's a coin in there from 1750, hey, it had to sink after the youngest coin, not the oldest coin. So, youngest coin is the limiting factor on when the ship sank. The oldest coin doesn't matter. So you can find all kinds of ways to test the age of the universe. Proof of a young earth is all you need to close the case. So let's look at the scientific ways that the universe cannot possibly be billions of years old. It can't be. There are 2 choices. Somebody made the world, or the world made itself. Nobody's thought of a third choice, but the morons who say, we're not really here. We just think we're here. Okay. But all those who believe the universe made itself, almost all of them would say, well, it came from the Big Bang. That's the big lie. That's the big lie, okay? The Big Bang is baloney. This is part 4, different scientific ways to prove the earth cannot possibly be billions of years old, and it did not start from a Big Bang. This whole dumb idea was made up, and George Lemaitre made up the Big Bang theory in the 1920s, 100 years ago. What an idiotic theory to come up with, and people swallowed it. Okay, Big Bang lie is so stupid and so unscientific, you have to wonder how anyone with one functioning brain cell can be duped into believing it. Tonight we're going to talk about a couple more evidences the earth cannot be billions of years old. We've covered several. We're going to cover a whole bunch. Atheists, buckle up, okay? Jupiter has, well, some people say 80 moons, some say 90. I don't care. Jupiter doesn't care either. But it's got a moon called Io. Jupiter's moon Io is dotted with hundreds of volcanoes. Well, now hold it. This is a long ways away from our sun. So where's it getting the heat? Jupiter Io is about 4.5 billion years old, according to space.com. So let's see. Io and Jupiter are made of fragments from the Big Bang 13.772 billion years ago. That's what you believe, right? And these particles flew away from the bang faster than the speed of light. Is that what they teach? Did I get it right? Now, let's do the math. If two fragments from the Big Bang left at the speed of light at just a 5-degree angle from each other, not much, 5-degree angle. Let's see. One goes this way, one goes that way, 5 degrees. In 1 second, just taking the speed of light, not faster than the speed of light, those dots would be 186,000 miles away from the bang point. You do the math with a 5-degree angle, you get, sine, cosine, tangent, all that kind of, I taught that for years. You're going to find those two dots are 16,000 miles apart in 1 second. Here's two fragments, poof, in 1 second, they're 16,000 miles apart. And you want me to believe they've got gravitational pull on each other to get back together to form a planet? 16,000? Wait a minute, guys. Io is 4.5 billion years old, and the Big Bang was 13.772 billion years ago. Okay, so for 9.272 billion years, trillions of fragments were getting further and further apart at the speed of light. Then they decided to get together and make Jupiter and its moons. Is that what they teach? Am I getting it right? Okay. You expect me to believe that? You got to be insane, okay? Let's see. NASA's spacecraft is going to swing past one of Jupiter's moons, a flyby of Io, one of 80 known moons in Jupiter's system. Io's magma-encrusted surface is pockmarked with hundreds of volcanoes. Scientists are keen to understand how these eruptions change Jupiter's magnetosphere. Over the course of a year and a half, Juno spacecraft will carry out a total of 9 flybys of Io. They're going to fly past it a bunch of times, and I'm thrilled for this, okay? Take a bunch of pictures, learn more about Io. Okay. With over 400 volcanoes, Io is the most geologically active object in the solar system. This extreme geologic activity is the result of tidal heating from friction generated within Io's interior as it is pulled between Jupiter and the other moons. Several volcanoes produce plumes of sulfur and sulfur dioxide that climb as high as 300 miles above the surface. Io's surface is also dotted with more than 100 mountains that have been uplifted, some taller than Mount Everest. Okay. So these volcanoes are shooting stuff off into space away from Io, and they're being sucked away. Approximate true color image of Io from the Galileo spacecraft. Dark spot just left of center is the erupting volcano Prometheus. The whitish plains on either side are coated with sulfur. Magnetosphere. As Jupiter rotates, it takes its magnetic field around with it, sweeping past Io, watch this now, stripping off a ton of Io's material every second. Now follow me. Focus, Daniel-san. Io is losing 1 million tons a second. That is 1 billion tons every 32 years. There's 1 billion seconds in 32 years, roughly. So it's losing 1 billion tons every 32 years. How old is Io? How long has it been losing this? A ton a second. Wow. Well, you do the math, that's 10 to the 19th power, 9.8 times 10 to the 19th power tons. That's how much it weighs. It's large, slightly larger than our moon. So it's 4.5 billion years old. So it's lost 140 million tons in the last 4.5 years. And that didn't upset the gravitational pull? See, the Io and the other moons are going around, they have to be just the right weight, because it's a fine balance between centrifugal force throwing it out and gravitational pulls pulling it in. You believe it's been orbiting Jupiter for 4.5 billion years while losing 1 billion tons every second, or ton every second. Okay, 1 billion tons at every 32 years. And this mass never caused it, this change in mass, never caused it to be ejected or sucked in, always stayed in perfect balance. You really expect me to believe that? Are you stupid? Guys, Io cannot have been in that perfect orbit for billions of years based on the mass it's losing. They say, oh, time can do it. Yes, almighty time. You can form a cloud of expanding dust. You can make Io from this cloud and shape it into a near-perfect ball and keep it hot for billions of years, even while it's losing 1 billion tons every second. Time is your God, I understand. If you tell a lie big enough, keep repeating it, the people will eventually believe it. Nazi propaganda leader, Joseph Goebbels. Hitler said, people are more likely to believe a big lie than a small one. A definite factor in getting a lie believed is the size of the lie. The bigger the lie, the better, Hitler thought. Yeah. Jupiter's moon Io is not billions of years old. It cannot possibly be. It's way out there in space. Jupiter's what, 5.6 times further away from the Earth than we are, than the Sun than we are? Astronomical units, maybe it's 5.9, I don't remember. Okay, Saturn has rings around it. Now follow me, focus, Daniel San. Saturn's rings are unstable. They cannot be billions of years old. Cassini spacecraft sees rapid rearrangements, colliding moonlets and an oxygen atmosphere. National Pornographic. Let's see. Saturn's rings, for years scientists have seen Saturn's rings as stable and slow to evolve. Beautiful, but a bit boring. How long will Saturn's rings last? Let's see. From this alone, the entire ring system will be gone in 300 million years. What's happening? Well, the rings are unstable and they're falling apart. So they can't be billions of years old. This means rings likely have less than 100 million years to live. They're not alive, guys, but that's okay. All right. The fateful fate of Saturn's rings. That's just a couple years ago. Let's see. Today, we know that the rings are very young, geologically speaking. What? Oh, yeah. Now, if they are young, another question arises. How long will they last? It seems they will disappear in 100 million years. If so, we would be seeing the ring system right in the middle of its life. Well, if they're going to disappear in a million, and this is the middle, they've only been around for a million, how old is Saturn? The vanishing rings of Saturn. Saturn's rings are vanishing. Scientists from NASA, Goddard, have discovered that not only are Saturn's rings younger than previously thought, Saturn's rings are disappearing. Popular mechanics. Saturn's rings are raining down on Saturn about 4,000 tons every second. All the fragments are being sucked into Saturn. Now, wait a minute. Guys, Saturn took shape with the rest of the solar system 4.5 billion years ago. You got to get the holy sanctimonious tone in your voice anytime you say that. 4.5 billion years old. Oh, Askalishana, Kawasaki, Toyota, Honda. Okay. When gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become this gas giant. Wait. These gas particles that have been getting further apart at the rate of faster than the speed of light are now pulling each other together? What am I missing here? They got to be stupid. Don't they? Guys, which is it? You believe in the Big Bang or do you believe planets exist? At 4 billion years ago, Saturn settled into its current position as the outer solar system, where it's the 6th planet from the sun. A guy at Berkeley University, Earth and Planetary Science, part of a team in 2019, concluded that the rings of Saturn are relatively recent, having formed a mere 100 million years ago, and perhaps even more recently, like maybe 6,000. Okay. The planet itself, as old as the solar system, is about 4.5 billion years old. Oh yeah, you got to say that if you go to Berkeley. Okay, Business Insider. Let's see. The Cassini mission went by and they said the rings could disappear in 100 million years. Well, now, Saturn's rings give off infrared energy. There's a lot of things you can study. They're amazing, these rings are. The vanishing rings of Saturn. Red alert. Saturn's rings are vanishing. Around the world, amateur astronomers have noticed the change. Saturn's wide open rings are rapidly decaying. I see. Scientists from NASA discovered the rings. Not only are the Saturn's rings younger than they thought, they're disappearing, folks, okay? Goodbye to Saturn's rings, yep. I've got a theory about Saturn's rings and why they're disappearing, but they're not gone yet. About 6,000 years ago, God created everything in 6 days, including Saturn. Saturn and all the planets are 6,000 years old. They were put in perfect orbit around the sun. Everything's perfectly balanced and fine, and everything about them is decaying now. And they're not millions of years old, guys. Earth's moon is orbiting the Earth once every 27 days. It is slowly leaving the Earth about 1.5 inches every year. It just so happens the moon is also spinning every 27 days, and it's going around every 27 days. So the same side always faces the Earth. It's called gravitational lock. Gravity on the near side, our Earth is pulling on the near side a little bit more than the far side, because of the inverse square law. And so it's stuck. The moon is slightly egg-shaped, and the bump is pointed toward us, and it's probably going to stick that way for a long time. Okay. But the moon is going around, and the moon is leaving us 1.5 inches every year. Now, complicated, guys, listen. That means it used to be closer. If the moon is getting further away, it used to be closer. I know you believe you came from a rock, but try to focus, okay? It used to be closer. Let's see. Today, the moon is 239 million miles away. Or 239,000 miles away, I'm sorry. It's been a busy day, okay? My brain's on 40 different things. I've been given tours. Average distance to the moon in kilometers. The distance varies because the moon goes around the Earth in elliptical orbit. I agree, a little bit of egg shape. Sometimes it's closer. Apogee is far away. Perigee is close, right? Young age for the moon and Earth. ICR, Institute for Creation Research, did an article on this way back in 82. They've known for a long time the moon is getting farther away. We're losing the moon. Space Place, NASA, I feel like we're drifting apart. You are. Bye, moon. Okay. Right now, the moon is moving away from the Earth at the rate of 4 centimeters a year. It's about 1.5 inches. The moon is moving away from Earth 1.49 inches. Whoa, I don't know how they got it measured that close, but I'll give it to them. 1.5 inches a year, close enough. All you got to do is Google, is the moon leaving us? Lots of articles on this. Yes, they all agree the moon is leaving Earth. Will the moon ever leave Earth's orbit? Spaceanswers.com. Astronomy books are fond of quoting the fact the moon is gradually spiraling away from the Earth. I don't know anybody who's disagreeing with this. It is leaving, okay? Will the moon ever leave Earth's orbit? Yep. The moon is gradually spiraling away. Why is the moon leaving us? Wow. They're back in 2014, they knew this. Right now, the moon is moving away from the Earth at the rate of about 4 centimeters a year, okay? At the basic level, the moon's gravity exerts a drag on the Earth that slows its rotation. The moon's gravity is slowing us down. We'll get into Earth's rotational speed another night. It can't be billions of years old. Let's see. Earth's gravity exerts a pull on the moon. So that expands its orbit. As we slow down, the moon gets further away. They're balancing act. Why is the moon getting further from the Earth? Wow. The moon is slowly moving further away. Earth's moon designated to disintegrate. The moon is moving away. Let's see. Is the moon moving away from the Earth? When was this discovered? The moon's orbit, circular path, is indeed getting larger at the rate of 3.8 centimeters a year, 1.5 inches. I wouldn't say the moon is getting closer to the sun, but it's getting farther from the Earth. Okay? Our moon has been slowly drifting away from Earth for 2.5 billion years. Oh, now just last year they published this article. Why did you say 2.5 billion? You know who wrote this one. Space.com. Let's see. Joshua, you better do some more research on this, son. It's not 2.5 billion years. I know you'd like to stretch it more than it actually is because you want 4.6 billion to get in there somehow. But 2.5 billion ain't correct. Moon's orbit is leaving us about 1.5 inches a year. There's a law in physics called the inverse square law. If two objects are attracted to each other, like two magnets, okay, the force of attraction is inversely, it means upside down refraction, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. What that means is if you brought the moon back into 1/3 the distance, you take the 1/3, flip it over, and square it. Well, 1/3 flipped over is 9. At 1/3 the distance, it's 9 times the gravitational pull. Common high school physics, okay? Let's see. Moon's distance. 1,000 years ago was 125 feet closer. Million years ago, 28 miles closer. 10 million years ago, 284 miles closer. 100 million years ago, 2,840 miles closer. A billion years ago, 28,000 miles closer. 1.4 billion years ago, they can't stay apart. It would suck it in. If you calculate the recession time of the moon backwards in time, at 1.4 billion years ago, the orbit collapses. It's like two magnets. They get stronger and stronger pull the closer you get them. See, this inverse square law works with gravity, works with magnets, works with girls. You get too close and, pulls, never mind. Okay, let's see. The evolution of the lunar semi-major axis presents the well-known timescale problem. The lunar orbit collapses only a little over 1 billion years ago. Wow. Astronomical Journal back in 1994, they knew it was a little over 1 billion. Joshua, why did you say 2.5 billion? If we take the moon's current rate of recession and project it back in time, we end up with a collision between the Earth and moon 1.5 billion years ago. However, the moon was formed 4.5 billion years ago, meaning the current recession rate is a poor guide. What's he saying? We know it's 4.5 in spite of the scientific fact that it can't be. So they must not be measuring it right. Isn't that what he's implying here? Everybody for years has said about 1 to 1.4 billion years. Now he wants to put it back at 4.5 at space.com. Are you stupid or something? Forrest Gump. I love that movie, okay? Let's see. This fact alone puts the age of the Earth-Moon system at less than 1.2 to 1.4 billion years. I know you guys would like the Earth to be 4.6 billion years old for your theory to look reasonable, okay? You can't have 4.6 billion years. I know time is your pacifier. I'm sorry, you can't have your passy anymore. Get a new theory that can accommodate all the science, the observable facts that we see. So if the moon was closer as we go back in time, that explains what happened to the tall dinosaurs. They got mooned. Okay, the origin of the moon is still unresolved. 1989. I got a theory about the moon. It's leaving, but it's not gone yet. 6,000 years ago, God made everything. The moon is 6,000 years old, not billions. The fact that it's still in orbit at all, even after 6,000 years. Let me see you make a clock that'll work for 6,000 years. Come on, guys. Who's adjusting this? There's no gas pedal up there. No, it just is pretty finely tuned, isn't it? Jesus answered and said, have you not read? He which made them at the beginning, made them male and female. Haven't you read? It was Adam and Eve. Jesus said that was the beginning. He's going to say, you atheists on Judgment Day, I told you the creation of Adam was the beginning. Why would you think I lied? I made them. See, science has a long history of teaching things that are wrong and they have to get corrected. This whole geologic column wasn't made up till 1830. Before that, all the scientists thought the layers came from Noah's flood. And you guys in 1830 rejoiced that, wow, now we've got a new theory that doesn't involve the flood. Well, that theory is wrong. It's time we throw out the geologic column. It does not exist. There. It's time we throw out the fossil record. There is no fossil record. It's time we throw out the billions of years. You can't have billions of years. Jesus answered, beware, take heed lest any man deceive you. You've been deceived by this dumb evolution religion. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Timothy, keep that which is committed, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. I love science. Evolution is not part of science. Billions of years is not part of science. Get a theory that can explain all the complexity we see in the world in just a short few thousand-year time frame, and you'll have the correct theory. See, God made everything 6,000 years ago, created it all in 6 days. The moon, Io, Saturn's rings, our moon, all clearly show this universe is not billions of years old. So I'm sorry, if we took your passy away, go cry, but get over it. In 6 days, the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is. He's going to say to you, Judgment Day, I told you I made everything in 6 days. My book clearly shows it was about 6,000 years ago. Why would you think I lied? Do you think your little scientists were smarter than me? This is what God's going to say to you one day. Look, I'm just a messenger boy. I'm delivering a telegram. Don't get mad at me. I mean, if you get a telegram, Western Union, I don't like this telegram. Shoot the messenger. Huh? No, guys, I'm just a messenger. God said he made it all in 6 days about 6,000 years ago. God said nothing died until Adam sinned. What are you going to do with that? Just throw it out? Okay. Someday he's going to say, depart from me. I hate that for you. You atheists, as much as you hate me and hate God, I'm your best friend. I'd like to see you get saved. I really would. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Okay, any questions or comments? How long till we get the real internet here? Coming soon, a couple of weeks? Yeah. 3 weeks? Praise God. That'll be great. We'll have live. Okay, I'm going to be on Standing for Truth in a couple of weeks. Open mic, chat, any questions, fair game. If they're about the creation evolution topic, don't ask me what color socks I wear. My wife loves my Hawaiian shirts. So she thought she was buying me some Hawaiian underpants. Did you see them? It's marijuana, Anna. I didn't know what marijuana looked like. You verified it, right, brother? I said, honey, you know what this is? She said, isn't that palm trees? I said, I don't think so. I'm not going to show you, but I got them. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.